Welcome, brothers and sisters, to our Advent Bridge, Day 8. Today we hear the voice of the Lord that is crying out in the wilderness to prepare the way for the Lord. This voice is crying out in the wilderness where no one is around. Why not in the city? Why in the desert? How come in a place so inhospitable? One of the reasons could be is that our lives oftentimes could reflect a desert, an arid, inhospitable, difficult scenario with no vegetation. And oftentimes when we are wandering in the desert aimlessly without knowing where to go, our lives are like those of the people of Israel in the desert who are worn out by the journey, complaining, unhappy to move forward. In this context, we find out that the people of Israel received already a double for their sins. As if to say, there are consequences of the sins. They were exiled, and now is the time of returning, coming back to the Holy Land, to Jerusalem. And we are waiting for Jesus Christ to come to our lives. And there are some characteristics. What is meant to happen so that his arrival might be possible. Those descriptions are concretely referring to our lives, but they're enshrouded in the images. So the first one is fill up all the valleys, then to lower the hills, then to smooth the rugged area, making it plain. Only then the glory of the Lord will be seen. Let me go briefly over those images. The valleys, filling them up. With what specifically? With hope and confidence, because the valleys of depression, the valleys of despair or doubt could be those areas where we already gave up on the Lord, saying, He's not gonna help me. It's not gonna work in my life. I already know. There's no even point of trusting, of hoping, of praying. We might have already given up on hope, although not explicitly, but there could be an area in our lives where we are already resigned in its negative sense. God is not gonna help me. Well, let's fill up this valley. How come? Let's not lose hope. Let's not fall into the pit of despair, thinking, no, the Lord will not be able to come and lift me up and help me out. The second image is that of the mountain, of our pride, of our haughtiness. How many people I have met who say, I really don't need God. I can work it out on my own. I can figure it. It's not a big deal. I can work harder. And many of those who actually got stuck with their addictions and real life problems were of that category. I can manage. I can do it. I'm strong enough, smart enough, capable. Let's lower these mountains. Let's level them. And how that happens through different circumstances and humiliations where we really do not know what to do. And that's the concrete setting. And also the rugged territory, making it plain. All those rough edges of our attitude, of our temper, our behavior, demeanor, that we may say are not so friendly for those who are bystanders. We need to ask ourselves today if we don't fall in one of those categories. Are there area in your life that you're despaired about, that you already gave up on, that you would change, that something might be transformed? What's the point? But let's not forget, it is the Lord who is coming. He is the strong one. He is the powerful. He is the one who has divine power that can do absolutely anything that He wills for our salvation. He's our Goel, our Savior. Maybe those high mountains of our pride and self-conceited superiority, considering ourselves able to fix any problem, any difficulty without any reference to the Lord or inviting Him, no, they need to be leveled through different circumstances. Or maybe we have those rough, rugged terrain, territory in our lives that are those vices. It's very difficult to deal with. And that area, this territory, needs to be leveled by criticisms, by corrections, and different events taking place in our lives, so that the path could be prepared for the Lord. He may arrive. And the word says, only then they will see the glory of God, will be able to behold God, behold His greatness, His magnificent love that is being shown to us. When we get to see the Lord, as the apostles after Jesus' resurrection, when they said, it is the Lord, when He entered through the locked doors, yes, it is Him. He is able to raise us up. Only then we can see His value, weight, the importance, the greatness, the manifestation of God who comes to help us in those circumstances, exactly through those struggles we are going through. Let us reflect on those areas as we continue our Advent Bridge series. God bless you, brothers and sisters.